introduce our seniors for their walkthrough. First up is Team Captain Braden Bork and his parents, Christine and Michael Bork. Braden's favorite events are 500 free, 200 free, and 100 backstroke. His future plans are to go to college to obtain a doctorate in pharmacy. What swimming has meant to Braden? He started swimming with the Sea Dogs as a fun activity to do in the summer. And then over time, throughout high school, swimming was a way I could prove that I could do anything I put my mind to after going through cancer and multiple leg surgeries. Congratulations on your great swimming career, Braden. Next up is Will Nebbiolo, accompanied by parents Betsy and Edward Nebbiolo. His favorite events to swim are 500 free and 200 free. His future plans are to major in accounting and finance. What swimming has meant to Will? Swimming has shown me how to work hard no matter the results. Congratulations, Will, on your very great swimming career. All right, next up, we have William Ray, accompanied by his parents, Karen and Jason Ray. Will's favorite events are 100 breast and 400 free relay, 200 free relay, and 200 medley relay. His future plans are to go to college for computer engineering. What swimming has meant to Will? I joined the team my junior year. It's been great to be a part of the team. I've enjoyed getting to know all of my teammates and be at the swim meets. Congratulations, Will, on your short but great career. And finally, senior Michael Valdez, accompanied by parents Jen and Michael Valdez. We all know him as Mikey. His favorite swim events are 50 free and 100 free. His future plans are to go to college in Chicago. What swimming has meant to him? To me, swimming has meant a 2-hour cardio session with talking to my friends in between the sets, but always something that I know would guarantee me a sub at the end of every away meet. It's all about the munchies. Congratulations, Mikey, on your great swimming career.
And welcome to Shaler Area Elementary School here in the pool where the Shaler Area Titans will host Penn Hills Indians for Senior Night 2024. Hi everybody, I'm Mark Povich alongside Jacob Picasso, where we're here to give you coverage of tonight's Senior Night. And Jake, thank you for joining me here tonight to commentate Senior Night.
Yeah, you're very welcome. For those of you who don't know, I'm a former Shaler Area High School swimmer. I'm a former Titan, doing a lot of the events, specifically like the distance events, like the 200 and 500. And yeah, I'm very excited to be helping commentate tonight. So I'm looking forward to a very great night from the Titans here tonight.
All right, and the first event here tonight will be the girls' 200-yard melody relay. Shaler will be in lane 3, Penn Hills in lane 4. Having some technical difficulties with the starting gun.
it seems that the speaker for the starting gun had some technical issues.
Place your feet. Take your mark.
And we're off. First event of the evening, 200 medley relay.
For Shaler, it'll be Kaisa Chelly leading off. For Penn Hills, it'll be Cassidy Berkovich. Shaler out front early on. Chelly on her turn.
Very strong coming off of the wall there. I know for this event, especially in like the backstroke, it's like very important to get off those walls very far and very like closely under the water. So very good push off there.
That'll conclude Chelly's run. Now it'll be Malachi for Shaler. And Smith will be in the water for Penn Hills. Titans have a pretty big lead early on.
Another excellent pull-out. I know that for the breaststroke especially, that's one of the tougher strokes to master. So yeah, again, very good pull-off from that.
Now Ava Malachi will be in the water for Shaler. Smith still coming down the backstretch. Shaler has a huge lead here, almost a full 25 meters. Shaler coming down to the last swimmer here, Emily Miller. Lauren Sipple currently in the water for Penn Hills. Emily Miller in the water now for the Titans.
Coming off of a very strong lead and probably going to bring it home very strongly for this last 25 coming up.
Titans hit their turn in their last 25. Sarah Gamza, the water now for Penn Hills. And that'll be the Titans finishing with the time around 2 minutes. It's .74, just .74
Exactly.
off of Whippeals.
So close.
They were able to shave 9 seconds off their time they had last.
Very good time. I mean, all the adrenaline of like trying to get all that. I remember.
And that'll conclude Penn Hills 2 with a final split of 35 and a total time of 2:23.70.
Very good start for the Titans.
200 medley relay. In lane 2 for Penn Hills, Kingsley, Hunter Boyd, Edward Bowser, and Elijah Flowers. In lane 3 for Shaler, Braden Bork, Noah Lang, Will Nepiolo, Tommy Peworski. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Clark Leonard, Anthony Collins, Luke Houlihan, Anthony Sipple.
All right, and next event now will be the boys' 200-yard melody relay.
Mikey Valdez.
In lane 2 will be Penn Hills. Lane 3, Shaler. 4 Penn Hills, 5 Shaler. And we are underway. In lane 2, it'll be Kingsley Nashwashu for Penn Hills. Lane 3 will be Braden Bork for the Titans. Lane 4 will be Clark Leonard for Penn Hills. In lane 5 will be Tyler Weissman for Shaler. So far, lane 3 has the lead. Braden Bork by a hair.
Followed very closely behind.
It's going to come down to the second leg to determine it. Titans went to the water first. Breaks.
That is Noah weighing it for the breaststroke in lane 3.
He hits his turn.
Very strong, yes. Gaining that lead gaining that lead very quickly.
He built about a 10-yard gap there for the Titans. That'll be strong going into the third leg. Third leg is now Will Nebbio for the Titans. Luke Houlihan is right behind him for Penn Hills. In lane 5 is still William Ray for Shaler. And in lane 2 is Hunter Boyd for Penn Hills. Will Nebbio coming to end his final stretch, and now is in the water is Tommy Pogorski to finish things off for the Titans. Anthony Sipple is now entering for Penn Hills. About a 15-yard gap in between the two. Can Pogorski keep his lead? It's looking like it. Sipple is able to close the gap, but not enough.
Still are under the medley time for the Whitfields.
Oh, in lane 3, Titans will qualify with a time of 1:48.39. And that is huge for the Titans.
I believe previously they were under 2 seconds under, but still keeping in line with the Whipple time that they still need. So very, very good job on the Titans.
Now lane 4 to come, or 5 to come to a finish will be Mikey Valdez. In lane 2 to close things up will be Elijah Flowers.
Congratulations.
In lane 2, Penn Hills finished with a total time of 2:22.25. Lane 3, Shaler had 1:48.39. In lane 4, Penn Hills had 1:53.47, and in lane 5, the Titans had 2:15.40.
Very, very strong swims. Very, very strong.
Very amazing performance by everyone there. And the next event in the pool will now be the girls 200-yard freestyle.
For Shaler, Ava Malachi. And lane 4 for Penn Hills, Sarah Gamza.
We are underway. In lane 2 will be Penn Hills. In lane 3 will be Shaler, Ava Malachi. In lane 4, Penn Hills. So far early on, lane 3, Ava Malachi has a huge lead. Lane 4 looking to close in, it'll be Sarah Gamza. Ava Malachi with a huge lead so far. Should be about a 20-yard lead.
Almost cutting through the wire, it seems.
She's looking to beat a time of 2 minutes and 3 seconds. That'll qualify her for Whippeals. Currently entered without a time. And she looks to be almost on pace for it.
Already 100 in, and we're like close to a minute, so it's very possible that she could qualify here.
She just needs to stay with this consistency for the rest of her race, and she could do it.
The important thing about these sorts of races is that, like for the 200 and 500, you kind of keep a steady pace towards the beginning, and then like really towards the end, you got to pick it up, like get the pace, especially for like the last 50. That's like where some of your crucial seconds lie in like trying to secure a time that you're trying to get.
Yeah, you definitely want to pace yourself here, not go out too hard early, and you won't have enough to finish with. Definitely want to pick it up as the race goes on. Malachi with a huge lead so far.
And Shaler takes it first. Ava with a final time of 2:06.71.
That'll be just 3 seconds over the Whippeal time. Still a very impressive performance from Malachi. Ranaya in lane 2 for Penn Hills, and Gamza in lane 4.
Gamza looking to close it in, I think, with this last lap here.
And that'll conclude Sarah Gamsa's race with a final time of 2:53.44. Renaya Slappy-Hollinger looking to finish up her race too.
Coming up on the last lap now.
Coming down to her final 10 yards. She's looking to close out the girls' 200-yard freestyle. And that'll be it for the 200-yard freestyle. Renaya Slappy-Hollinger for a final time of 3:39.78.
200 freestyle. In lane 1 from Shaler, Alfred Hastings. And lane 2
The next event in the pool will be the boys' 200-yard freestyle.
3 for Shaler, Braden Bork. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Elijah Flowers.
Titans will be in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Penn Hills in 2 and 4. As the swimmers take their blocks.
I know that these crucial seconds in between waiting for the race to start and the starters queuing the swimmers is that one slight little mishearing in an individual, and that will mean the entire race, because sometimes you'll find swimmers diving in way too early and ultimately disqualifying them.
We are now underway. In lane 1 will be Albert Hastings for Shaler. Lane 2 will be Kingsley Nakawahu for Penn Hills. Lane 3 will be Braden Bork for Titans. Lane 4 will be Elijah Flowers for Penn Hills, and lane 5 will be Kieran Roberts for Shaler.
Both lanes 1 and 3 are looking to have a very, very strong start in the beginning here. Kieran in lane 5 having a kind of sort of race with lane 4, but looking to kind of pick it up a little. They're kind of keeping close in line with each other.
Yeah, so far Braden Bork is out in the lead with a huge gap, kind of racing against Albert Hastings for Shaler.
For this race as well, Braden is very, very close to one of the Whitfield cuts. Only 5 seconds, looking to get a 1:52.50 in the 200 freestyle.
He's looking like it right now. He could be on pace. Might have to pick it up a little bit here towards the end.
It appears Kieran in lane 5 has won the battle against lane 4 and is now looking to close it off for his end of the 200 freestyle. And Braden Bork finishes first in 200 freestyle, looking with a time of 2 minutes and 62 seconds. Or, excuse me, 2 minutes and 0.62 seconds.
Just 7 seconds short of a Whippio time. Still not a bad time at all for Bork. But he was hoping to come out a little bit stronger and try to do something special here for senior night. That'll also conclude lane 1, Albert Hastings' race. Him with a final time of 2:18.85.
As well as Kieran Roberts, for lane 5, looking at the final time of 2 minutes, 26 seconds, and 59 milliseconds,
Elijah Flowers now coming down the final stretch. About to get his final time. Final split of 47.43. And a combined total of 2:56.44. But here comes Kingsley in lane 2 to close out the 200-yard freestyle. And that'll conclude the race here with a final split of 50 seconds and 86 milliseconds for a final time of 3:17.24.
Event 5 is our girls 200.
The next event in the pool will be event 5, girls 200-yard meter.
That's the individual medley, basically combining all of the strokes together that swimmers learn throughout the practices.
Yeah, as we saw in the first 2 events, the medley relays, it'll be basically just like that, but an individual.
Exactly, yes.
Penn Hills in lane 2, Shaler in lane 3, Penn Hills in lane 4, Shaler in lane 5. Cassidy Bjarkovic in lane 2 for Penn Hills. Sarah Vitale in lane 3 for Shaler. Sydney Smith for Penn Hills for lane 4, and Kaisi Celli in lane 5. Vitale and Smith are neck and neck.
This event especially, at one lap or stroke can change the course of the entire, like, if you're better off at doing backstroke or breaststroke, your skill in that could easily take over the race and secure you either a win or potential loss or a whippo time, who knows.
Yeah, a strength or a weakness in one different stroke could cost you the race. You got to be consistent for all of them.
Sarah and Sydney still neck and neck, almost like.
But Celli's coming right behind them. They're all neck and neck in lanes 3, 4, and 5. All within a second of each other for splits.
Moving on to the breaststroke, notoriously one of the most infamous strokes among swimmers, being that some people either love it or hate it. This one especially can determine whether or not where you fall in place with the race.
Smith and Vitale still neck and neck. Smith pulling away on the breaststroke. Smith on her final 50 meters, now on freestyle. And here comes Vitale. Celli on her final 50. Barakovic trying to finish her breaststroke still. Smith had a good turn, but Vitale's on her tail. It's gonna be neck and neck coming down here. Smith trying to pull away. And it looks like she will. She'll get a little bit of a gap here at the end to finish out her race. Vitale right behind her, and here comes Celli.
Still a very good effort from the girls' Titans.
And that'll conclude Celli, Vitale, and Smith. Smith with 2:35.49. Excuse me, that was Vitale. Then Smith with 2:33.55. Celli with 2:43.31. But here comes Barakovic down the final stretch. 5 yards left to end her race. And that'll conclude the girls' 200 yards individual melody.
Barakovic finishing off with a 3:07.68.
In lane 3 for Shaler, Noah Lang. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Anthony Collins.
That was an exciting race to see between Vitale and Smith. They were neck and neck. Seemed like the breaststroke really pulled Smith away from Vitale. But now event 6 will be the boys' 200-yard individual medley.
A race for sure, as we only have 2 swimmers participating within the event. Noah Lang from Shaler and Anthony Collins from Penn Hills.
Yeah, Lang already qualified for Whippeals. He got a 2:06.15. All you need is a 2:08.30. But Collins Anthony is going to try and test his luck here. He is seated with a 2:22.
Potential to secure the whippeal time once again for Lang. Mr. Noah Lang pulling out ahead way early in the game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about Lang so far this season. He's been a very strong swimmer, especially as a junior, already qualifying for Whippeals.
Yes, Lang, from personal experience and swimming with him, yes, Lang is very much a very strong swimmer. Has worked very hard to be where he is, and I'm excited for him to see that he's qualified for this Whippeal time. I'm hoping that he can secure it once again.
Just under 55 seconds for his first 100, excuse me.
That turn into the breaststroke actually was very interesting for Noah, because I've only seen a very handful of people who can actually pull that off. So very interesting skill and impressive skill from Mr. Noah Lang.
Lang's coming down to the final 5 yards of his breaststroke. Now going into his freestyle.
Just about 1 minute and 30 seconds into the race. Going to be cutting it close to get to the 2 minutes that he needs for the Whippeal time.
Here comes Lang down the final stretch as Collins is going to go into his freestyle here on this last turn. Lang coming down, 157, 158, and that'll conclude him.
Just under. Lang once again securing the Whippeal time with the 158.85.
That is a huge time compared to his last one. He was seated with a 206.
Very, very big time drop.
Broke with a 4 seconds almost. Wow.
Very, very impressive from Mr. Noah Lang.
Here comes Collins. Anthony Collins down the final 10 yards, excuse me. Looking at a time of 2:30. And that'll conclude his race. He was seated with a 2:22. He had a final time of 2:29.78. Next event in the pool will be the girls' 50-yard freestyle.
Freestyle in lane 2 for Penn Hills, Gianna Pernatuzzi. Lane 3 for Shaler, Mainly Lazari. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Lauren Simmel. In lane 6 for Penn Hills, Asmia Murray.
Only one Shaler swimmer in this heat. And we are underway. In lane 2 is Gianna Pernatuzzi for Penn Hills. Lane 3 is Maylee Lazari for Shaler. Lane 4 is Lauren Sippel for Penn Hills. And lane 6 is Asa Murray.
Penn Hills looking to get the lead early on.
Sippel has an early lead. Decently big over Lazari. And Sippel will dominate in that heat over Lazari. Sippel finishing with a final time of 28.78. Lazari with 32.08. In lane 6 was Asa Murray with a time 40 seconds and 56 milliseconds. In lane 2 will be Gianna Pernatuzzi for a final time of 45 seconds and 2 milliseconds.
Yeah, the 50 freestyle especially is not one that requires much like planning or forethought or like any real stamina and endurance like kind of training. It's just a straight sprint all the way, like giving all you got in the gas tank, so to speak.
Next event will be the boys' 50-yard freestyle. And we are underway. Shaler in 1, 3, and 6. We got Ryan Lang in 1, Mikey Valdez in 2 or 3, Tyler Hoisman in 5. We got Penn Hills in 2, 4, and 6. We got Edward Bowser, Luke Houlihan, and Hunter Boyd. Here comes Luke Houlihan down the final, looking to make a huge time. You'll get 23-23.
My goodness, Penn Hills in lane 4. Mr. Luke Houlihan?
Luke Houlihan almost had the Whippeal time, which was 23:20. He had a 23:23. Wow. You can't get much closer than that.
That is an impressive time, even for somebody for in high school. I know if you guys up at college, you can kind of go slightly faster than that. Very, very impressive effort.
But now, after those events, after the first 8 events, we're now going to jump to a 10-minute break. But join us back for the rest of the meet for tonight's 2024 senior night.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shaler Area 2024 Senior Night. We are about to get started with the girls' 100-yard butterfly. Now, as the girls take it off here, one of the things that is kind of interesting to note about the fly as well as the breaststroke is that they're sort of the two, as I mentioned previously, infamously known strokes throughout swimming is that notorious for being some of the more difficult ones, fly especially, having to like throw your arms over yourself kind of and like just kind of keep a rhythm with like your kick can be very taxing on the body. So one of the things that very few people elect to do throughout their career of swimming.
We have Grace Malachi for Shaler in lane 3 and Sydney Smith in lane 4 for Penn Hills. Malachi has a little bit of a lead so far over Smith.
Coming in for the last lap, I believe, for the 100-yard fly.
Whippeal time is 1:03. Neither will be able to get it, but Malachi will be close with a final split of 35:72 and a total time of 1:07.25. Smith will have a final split of 39:74 and a final time of 1:13.67.
Now.
Up now being the boys' 100 butterfly. It appears we only have one Shaler student participating within the butterfly.
And they are
Will
underway.
Will Nebbiolo for Shaler in lane 3.
They're all neck and neck off the first 20 yards of this race. Sipple seems to have a little bit of a head, but Nebbio looks like he got his turn first.
Personally, I've always known Nebbio to kind of be that flyer. Now, excuse my language, I keep referring to the butterfly as fly. We swimmers sometimes would shorten it to kind of like make it easier just to kind of say and refer to it. But Will also is looking to take the lead for the butterfly, coming in on his last lap.
And Nebbio is a huge lead so far. Let's see if we can keep it on his final stretch. Nebbio in first, behind is Sipple. And in third is Leonard. Nebbio, the time is 56:80 for Whippeals, and that'll go right by. The final split will be 31:09 for a final time of 58:38. Sipple will be right behind him with a final time of 1:02.86, and Clark Leonard will be right behind him with 1:07.64.
Will, I believe, also achieving, I believe the Whippeal cut, as it was a. Oh no, I read that as 58. Excuse me, that was my error.
2 from Penn Hills, Renaya Hollinger-Slappy. And then 3 from Shaler, Emily McGregor. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Cassidy Berkovich. In lane 6 for Penn Hills, Maria Hernandez.
We are underway. Only one Shaler swimmer in this heat. That'll be Emily Miller in lane 3. In lanes 2, 4, and 6, we have for Penn Hills, Rahia Slappy-Allender in lane 2. Lane 4 is Cassidy Berkovich. In lane 6 is Maria Hernandez.
Sorry about that, but Miller taking the lead right out the gate, looking to hold strong throughout the entire event. The 100 as well as a 50 kind of being one of those events where you sort of just have to kind of like keep a little bit of a pace during the 100, but also kind of like take it out kind of fast with the 50.
Seated with a time of 1:02.09. Miller's looking to get 56.50 to make the cut for Whippeals. She's coming down her final stretch, time at 53, 54, 55. She was very close to the Whippeal cut, but just not enough, but that'll be possibly a new personal best for her.
Very, very strong
Yeah,
swim.
it will be for a time of 1:01.41.
Yeah, very, very strong swim.
PR'd by almost a second. Well, right behind her will be Berkovich for Penn Hills, who will not get a PR, but is really close to the time she was seated at. Hernandez and Rahania is really close to each other coming down to the final. It'll be almost neck and neck. But for a final time of both of them, lane 6 will be 1:36.21, and lane 2 will be 1:45.68.
Event 14 is our boys 100 freestyle. In lane 1 from Shaler, Tyler Weissman. In lane 2 from Penn Hills, Kingsley Nachukwu. Shaler, Tommy Gorski. In lane 5 for Shaler, Mikey Valdez.
Next event in the pool will be the boys 100-yard freestyle.
It appears we only have one Penn Hills student participating.
In lane 1 for Shaler will be Tyler Hoistman. Lane 3 will be for Shaler will be Tommy Pogorski. In lane 5 will be senior Mikey Valdez. But the Penn Hills swimmer we have is lane 2 will be Kingsley Nakwawu.
It appears that Mikey's lane next to him, lane 4/lane 5, has come undone. They're apparently trying to fix it. We appear to have a bit of an error on the swimmer's side. It would appear the lane is perhaps broken by the looks of things.
Luckily, there's no one in lane 4.
Mikey now just has a completely open lane for himself.
But that'll conclude for lane 3. It'll be Tommy Pogorski for the win in this event. Right behind him will be Mikey Valdez.
Coming in with a final time of 1:04.18, though it appears that the time has been scrubbed, potentially due to the lane line error, though I am not particularly sure at this time.
And finally, wrapping up this event, in lane 2 will be Kingsley Nakawashu.
All right, and now we have arrived, the big, the bad 500-yard freestyle, women's 500-yard freestyle to be specific.
Yeah, we went on a little bit of a break there as there was a little bit of a pool malfunction in between lanes 3 and 4, or excuse me, 4 and 5. But they were able to get that fixed right before the event 15, the 500-yard freestyle.
Oh boy, where to start with the 500?
We have 4 swimmers in this event on the thing, but it looks like only 2 will be lining up. And they are underway. In lane 3, we will have, excuse me, there's a little bit of a mistypo on here. Looks like Vitali is in 3. Wait.
I believe that's Malachi, yeah. Ava.
I believe that's Malachi in 4. And I'm not able to tell if it is between Sarah Gamza or Emily Rupto. Oh, excuse me, it's Sarah Gamza in lane 5.
Yeah, I believe on our little paper who lists the names, the lanes might have been misprinted. So.
All right, for the correction, it's Malachi in 3 and Sarah Gamza in 4. Malachi with a huge lead here in this event. Yeah. It's always a tough one. But Jake, since you were a swimmer, how do you train for an event something like this?
That's a very interesting. So, from my recollection, I know that we would train by 50s. I'm not sure if that's still the way it used to be done here, but it's kind of like building up your endurance level almost, and kind of keeping in line with a specific time that you need in mind. So, one of the examples I can give is that for training for the 5, we would do 10 50s. Just straight 50s, no diving off the blocks, just from one end to the other, back and forth. And from there, for the men's 500 free, if you wanted to get the whip time, you had to keep close to 29s to 30s. But yeah, it's mainly about just kind of being consistent with your stroke, your kick, everything essentially, and kind of building up an endurance to kind of keep your energy for later in the race when you can potentially just go all out with it. With this as well, you have a lot of time in your head, because you kind of think about how you can do things and kind of watch those who hold the cards to kind of count the laps for you. Sometimes they will bob it up and down ever so slightly to kind of tell you to pick up speed a little bit, or kind of increase your speed. And if they just kind of hold it steady, then that means just to kind of keep steady with your stroke and your swim. But if it's going up and down very fast as they can go with it, then that just means to put it all in the gear and kind of put all the gas that you have left in the tank, so to speak, into what you have left.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, Jake. I didn't realize that until you just said it. I was been watching the card holders, and they are shaking them differently, which is pretty cool to see from a non-swimmer person like myself, who doesn't spend a lot of time here in the pool area.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, but there's surprisingly a lot that goes into training for this. And something I've noticed as I've continued to swim the 500 into my college days is that even though it seems like a lot of time to fill, which it could be if you're spectating, when you're in the water itself, it almost feels like it kind of goes by in the blink of an eye if you're not paying attention and just focusing on yourself. I mean, already we're at lap 15 and we have only 4 left. Or 5 left, excuse me.
Malachi trying to get Whippio time here, as it is 5:32 for the bar. She looks like she could be on pace here for that.
Coming up on our last 100 here with lap 16.
If she holds this pace and maybe picks it up on her last 50, she could possibly qualify. Yeah, I was seeing Malachi's sister, Grace, waving that sign as fast as possible, telling her that you're close to the time, you got to pick it up.
Especially like everyone on the side of the deck and like, excuse the loud horn. That normally tells the swimmer in the water that it's the last event. Everyone going nuts and crazy for Malachi in the water.
She has 30 seconds to get back to the other end of the pool. She's currently at 5:12. She's at 5:15. She's got 20 seconds to get back to the other side.
Very, very exciting time here. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's screaming.
5:25. She's got 10 to work with. 27, 28, 29, and that should secure a spot in Whippeals. Ava Malachi, a freshman, able to qualify for Whippeals with a final time of 5 minutes, 31 seconds, and 31 milliseconds. Wow.
Congratulations. My goodness. It's always an exciting time, especially during like your senior night to get a time that you've always been striving for.
But now we will direct our attention to Sarah Gamza. And she still has another 100.
100, yes.
Everyone around the pool cheering her on.
That's one of the amazing things about this sport is that a camaraderie can arise from everybody, especially with the 500. You're sort of sharing each other's pain, so to speak, having to swim all those laps.
Coming down to her final 50.
Putting everything she has left into this last lap.
Coming down the final stretch here. Got about 15 yards left to go. And that'll conclude the woman 500-yard freestyle. Sarah Gamza with a final time of 7:36.35. And Ava Malachi will take her cooldown lap as she qualified for the Whippeals with a time of 5:30.31.
Once again, congratulations, Ava. That was an incredible swim.
Yeah, after an event like the 500, it is crucial for some swimmers to take a cool down lap, especially going as hard as Malachi did.
Especially going as hard as she did, because that event does take some stuff out of you.
We're expecting a similar performance from Braden Bork and Will Nebbio, as they are both around 10 seconds off of the Whippio cut for the 500, so we can expect big things here from them. But only time will tell. Now we are underway. In lane 2 for Penn Hills, we have Luke Houlihan. Lane 3 for Shaler, we have senior Will Nebbio. In lane 4 will be Anthony Collins for Penn Hills. And in lane 5 will be senior Braden Bork.
Braden and Will looking to take a lead in these first couple of laps. Will coming up to catch with Braden, so I think we'll see the two of them together a lot during this event. And speaking of Braden and Will, I remember swimming back in my high school days alongside them during this event. Both are formidable swimmers. Both are very, very good at what they do at this event. I'm looking forward to see them swim. I'm very excited to see whether or not they can get these times or not. I would love to see them come in for Whitfields.
Yeah, Jake, it's such a long event like this. What is someone's like diet almost like for an event like this to keep them almost like in shape or just conditioned enough to be able to do incredible times like this for this event?
Diet is interesting because I've never really considered much of a diet. Swimmers as is, we kind of focus more on like carbs and everything. So like after like events like this, or like I know after the senior event and like the senior meet and everything, they'll have a banquet with like some like, I'm sure carbonated or carb-based foods and whatnot, because those give us energy, and the carbs that we consume from here will definitely contribute to like helping with keeping us in shape and keeping us with the energy levels to go through this event.
Yeah, it's very interesting because there's so much time and preparation you guys have to put in to an event, like especially like the 500.
We do, because if I remember correctly, and it's been a while, so I might be, it might have changed during that time, but I know that we have meets Tuesdays and Thursdays, and between that, we just have swim like every single week practically. Saturdays and Sundays are off. We have Saturday morning practices, excuse me, that may or may not be still in effect. Again, I haven't swam for a while, so things might have changed, though. I'm pretty sure that they would still keep that. But yeah, most of every week we're just swimming like nonstop almost for 2 hours a day, just trying to keep up our shape and keep up our endurance, and making sure that everything's like level so that we can go into meets with like some valor and vigor almost.
Yeah, that's very impressive for athletes to be able to do this. I feel like, I don't know from an outsider's perspective, but I feel like swimming is kind of overlooked as like a difficult sport, because I feel like you got to be in one of the most fit shapes to be able to compete at these high levels.
I've definitely heard a lot of people saying that. Both inside and outside have commented about like how swim is probably one of the more taxing sports on the body, mentally and physically. I mean, it takes a lot to kind of like get into that shape, and a lot to like kind of push through the tiredness that you may be feeling through some events, if you are feeling tired at all. But I know for the 5, that's definitely an event that like can tire you out quickly and easily. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like you got to push through that, and it definitely builds like your toughness in you almost.
Nebbio still in the lead here, possibly on track to get this time. Bork falling behind a little bit.
Coming up on his last 100, coming up on lap 16.
Saw Lang holding the sign there. He wasn't waving it at all, so I'm looking like Nebbio's on track here to make his time.
I do believe, though, that like he'll start picking it up like at lap 17 and 19, because those are the ones where like, regardless of anything that like the coaches say or whatnot, it's generally the ones that you want to push the hardest. So like regardless if you're like, if the coaches tell you to or not, they're probably more than likely to like kind of like push it up and down as hard as they can to get the message to you that you need to go quick.
Yeah, and here comes Nebbio. Lang shaking the sign pretty quickly. We're at 4:25. Nebbio on his last 50. 75, excuse me.
They're coming up on his last 50 right here now.
And there's the horn for the final 50. Nebbio at 4:38 right now.
Coming to push it. 30 seconds left.
He's got a split of 15 here on both 25s.
I believe that time is 5:10. 5:10 for the Whitfields, that is.
He's got 15 seconds to make it back. His final thing here, coming down 5 minutes. 5:05, 5:04, 5:06, 07, 8, 9, and he gets it.
Potentially, we gotta wait for the full time to come on. Will with a 5:09.20.
Our second Whitfield qualifier of the night. Will Nebbio, as a senior, especially on senior night. What a moment for him.
What a very special moment. Congratulations, Will Nebbiolo.
But now here comes Luke Houlihan and Anthony Collins. Coming down on the final 25, we have Anthony Collins and Luke Houlihan neck and neck, looking to brace each other. Houlihan has the lead, and he will beat him by a hair. He'll finish with a final time.
Congratulations, Will Nebbiolo, on your Whippio cut time.
Yes, once again, congratulations to Will. That was a very, very impressive swim. Very, very impressive last couple of laps. Take that.
Victory lap.
Yes, take that victory lap, Will. You have definitely earned it.
That'll conclude the 500-yard freestyle for both boys and girls, bringing us now to our 17th event.
Having swum with Will all this time, it is a joy to see him get this 500 time. Speaking from personal experience, I have gotten the Whippio time myself. So, again, seeing him, somebody who I've swam with for a long time now, somebody I've known for a long time, get the time himself, it's such a joyous experience. I'm actually trying to contain my joy as we speak.
As they will finish their cool down laps, event 17 will now be in the pool. It'll be the girls' 200-yard freestyle relay.
Down to the last eight events of the meet.
And personally, Jake, as I'm not a huge fan, I'm just not here a lot, but the 200-yard freestyle seems like it's going to be a fun one to watch, as especially for the boys, as their times are very competitive, and especially for the girls, as they're going to try and hold in with Penn Hills.
Yeah, like you said, the relay is a fun one. It's almost like a race between, yes, it is a race against the other team. It's kind of like you and your combined team's effort, you and your friends' effort to kind of pull through and see what you guys can do with your combined strength almost. It's a very rewarding experience, to be sure.
Emily Miller coming out strong for the Titans. That's a huge, almost 15-yard gap.
Very, very strong.
Setting up Melee Luzari very well early in this race. But here comes Gianni Pernatozzi for Penn Hills, trying to leave Maria Hernandez set up good for her second leg.
One thing to note as well that just pops into my head, and this is the qualifiers for the previous event, the 500 events that we had just went through. Your flip turns are very, very important tools in regards to how you can determine a race. Sometimes you want to keep have a lot of kicks underwater and kind of get out far, maybe almost past the red line in the middle of the pool. But other times, for the 50, don't take too many kicks, as it kind of that event is more geared towards sprinting. So if you take a second to kind of stop in the middle of the race and just swim underwater for a few seconds, it might kill a time that you're trying to go for.
Yeah, right now the girls are trying to go for the time. The time is 1:48, but going down to their final leg will be Sarah Vitale, jumping in the water at 1:30. She's got 18 seconds here. It's gonna be tough to get it, but they're gonna try their best. Coming up on that time right now, the girls will be unsuccessful doing it, but we'll try for a PR. will also be unsuccessful with that, but will get a final time of under 2 minutes, which is still very impressive. A final time of 1:59.27 as Penn Hills' final swimmer enters the water. That'll be Asia Murray, looking at the next heat already. And that'll conclude the girls' 200-yard freestyle relay. But next will be the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay. And Matt, excuse me. Jake, I've been looking forward to this one as I see the times are very competitive. The time for Whitfields is 1:38, so both the teams have qualified. But Penn Hills have an impressive 1:29.33 seated.
I'm very excited for this one as well. I mean, having known the previous qualifiers of the Titan, or the previous successful qualify of the Titans, I'm looking forward to see if they can bring down their time and like cut it down even further from what they already have.
Definitely gonna be a close one here as Penn Hills are out here in the lead. Early on, it's Edward Bowser, but right behind him is Kieran Roberts. They're neck and neck. Roberts trailing not by much, as now Kingsley Nakwahu is in the water. Right behind him is Ryan Lang.
Yeah, Ryan Lang being the younger brother to Noah Lang. Coming out very strong here, it seems.
They're pretty neck and neck right here. Next for Shaler will be William Ray.
Lang is also coming up as well, catching up.
Lang made up a lot of ground there, but now for Shaler is William Ray. For Penn Hills is Hunter Boyd. Boyd out a little bit farther than Ray, but Ray looking to make up some ground on the turn here. And he does. Still neck and neck. Now in the water for Penn Hills is Elijah Flower. For the Titans, right behind him is Albert Hastings.
Yeah, Albert Hastings looking to make a very, very strong comeback.
And here he comes, and he passes him on the final stretch.
Very, very strong finish. Will he be able to keep in front?
He's ahead by a hair, and he's going to hold it all the way through the finish line. Titans
Albert
are victorious.
Hastings successfully takes the win with a final time of 1:55.76.
Titans were trailing all the way from the second to third leg, and Hastings was able to come back on the final 25.
Very, very successful effort from Hastings.
Wow. I am impressed with the performance by both of the teams here tonight.
That was a very good race by both teams. I mean, very, very successful, very strong. I mean, very good from both teams. Very, very good.
The next event in the pool will be the girls' 100-yard backstroke.
Backstroke is an interesting stroke to kind of get into it a little bit, because for one thing, you're not looking like into the pool or anything, and you can't really see whenever you're going to flip turn. You got to count on the flags to kind of like get your stroke count right. And if you're off by like maybe one stroke, then that could throw you off entirely, or maybe like have you smack your hand or something against the wall. I mean, and speaking personally, I myself have never really been a backstroker, but I have known very, very successful backstrokers in the past. The main thing here to keep in mind specifically is like kind of keeping your head back and keeping your body as straight as an arrow, so to speak, so that you can get like as aerodynamic as possible whenever you're trying to glide through the water. But as the ladies get on with their race here, we have Kaisa Celli in lane 3 taking it out first, and Bailey Lazari in lane 5 taking second, with Maria Hernandez in lane 2 for Penn Hills, Asa Murray in lane 4 for Penn Hills, and Gianna Paranatosi for lane 6. Excuse me if I said any of those names wrong, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Celli in the lead for Titans so far. Doesn't have a time in this event, so looking to PR. And that'll be our final time with a final split of 39-38 and a final time of 1:15.17, which is very impressive as the Whitfield cut is 1:03. And right behind her was Lazari with a time of 1:22.66, which is a huge personal best compared to her 1:36.89 she was seated with.
The 1:03 for the Whitfield. That's a very impressive time. Having never been a backstroker myself, having only swam it really in like the IM events, or the medley events, excuse me. Yeah, 1:03 is a very, very fast time.
And now to finish will be Asia Murray for Penn Hills. And right behind her is going to be Maria Hernandez. Murray was able to finish with a time of 1:57.14. And Hernandez finished with a time of 2:06.23. Next event will be the boys 100-yard backstroke. And they are underway.
Penn looking to take the lead on this first lap.
Got a lot of swimmers in this race. In lane 1 for Shaler, we have Albert Hastings. Lane 3 for Shaler, we have Kieran Robbins. Lane 5 for Shaler, we have Tommy Pogorski. For lane 2 for Penn Hills, we have Anthony Sipple. And in lane 4 for Penn Hills, we have Clark Leonard. Coming out early, we have both Penn Hill boys in the lead.
Very, very close, actually neck and neck as we speak. Very, very impressive effort from the gentlemen.
Seems like both schools are staying neck and neck. All three Shaler swimmers are staying pretty close. And Penn Hills are about as close as you can be. Sipple and Leonard neck and neck coming down the final stretch. Going for the Whitfield time, just 59. And it just comes and goes. Both of them are very close.
Still very, very close, yeah.
And here comes Roberts. Excuse me, Pogorski was right in front of Roberts. And now Roberts finishes. But here comes Hastings. And he finishes.
Very, very good effort from both teams.
Anthony Sipple had a final time of 1:03.15. Clark Leonard had a final time of 1:03.07, which they were about neck and neck, about 0.08 seconds off of each other.
Very, very impressive efforts.
And then all Shaler racers were pretty close. Pogorski with 1:09.55, Roberts with 1:11.63, and Hastings with 1:19.55. Very impressive by all of the swimmers to stay neck and neck with each other throughout the entire race. Next.
Next up, the girls' 100 breaststroke.
Girls 100-yard backstroke, only 2 swimmers in this race. For Shaler, we have Grace Malachi in lane 3. For lane 4, we have Lauren Sipple.
Yeah, having personally known Grace as well, I've always known her to be a breaststroker as well. And both girls actually seem very, very close, almost neck and neck. Grace with a slight lead, though. These turns especially being very important ones, having to like kind of measure yourself and kind of like make sure you're taking the right strokes at what place.
Malachi still in the lead over Sipple by just a hair. Anybody's race coming down this final 25.
Very, very close.
Both take their turns into the final 25. Whip field time of 1:13. Malachi trying to get it. She's got 12 seconds to get there. And she's going to try and get it. 108, 109, 110, 11, 12, and she gets it.
It might come down to the microsecond here.
112.86 for a final time. That will qualify Malachi.
Grace Malachi already has the whip field time cut in this event, but that was another whip field time in swim.
Congratulations to Malachi, who already had the time cut for it.
Keeping in line with the time. Very, very good.
In lane 1 for Shaler, Ryan Lang. In lane 3 for Shaler, Noah Lang. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Elijah Flowers. In lane 5 for Shaler, William Ray.
Lang as well in the breaststroke event. Noah Lang, that is, as his brother is also swimming alongside him. I've also known Noah to be a particularly great breaststroker, so I'm excited to see his race in this.
The time to qualify is 1:04.
Which is actually interesting because if I remember correctly, much like the 500, I forgot to mention this when we were covering the 5, but the original 500 time prior to either 2022 or 2023 was a 5:08. This one, especially now being a 1:04, I believe it's changed to be 4 seconds faster because the original time used to be a 1:08, if I remember correctly.
Lang has a huge jump here.
Very, very big.
Looking to get, he got halfway through the pool there for him his turn. Looking to go into his final 25 and make the cut. He's at 48 seconds now into his final turn.
That's the impressive thing about like these turns is that like depending on like where you throw your kick and where you throw like because
he's at 59. 1:04
seconds
is
left
the
to get the
time.
time.
And he's gonna not hit it.
Just
he's gonna be very close to
just
see.
barely get over the time. Yeah,
for 1:04.32.
Still a very, very good effort from Noah Lang though.
Very close to that cut.
As always, a very impressive swimmer.
And right behind him will be Ray Williams, or excuse me, William Ray, with a time of 1:22.58. And now coming in lane 1 will be Ryan Lang, Noah's brother, coming down the final stretch, trying to PR here. His time is 1:48 as he's seated at. He's at 1:44.
Has a very high chance of getting it.
47, 48, he's gonna be close. Final
Ryan
time of 1:48, and that will be a personal record for him.
Congratulations to Ryan. Very, very impressive effort.
And now comes Elijah Flowers down the final stretch. And that'll conclude the race with a final time of 2:06.04. Very impressive by all of the swimmers.
400 freestyle relay. In lane 3 for Shaler, Grace Malachi, Sarah Vitale, Emily Miller, and Ava Malachi. In lane 4 for Penn Hills, Sydney Smith, Sarah Gamza, Lauren
The
Sipple,
next
Jesse
event in the pool will be the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay.
And as we start the 400 freestyle relay, the Lady Titans are looking to get a time of 3:39 on the dot to secure a Whippeal time.
Titans in the lead so far. Grace Malachi starting off for the Titans, giving them a decent lead here so far. Malachi still giving them the lead here.
This is the last leg of her 100 before the next swimmer takes off into the 400.
Very impressive split there, just a minute. She was able to split 59.85 there. In Penn Hills,
now Sarah Vitale.
Smith was able to split 106. Vitale now in the pool for Shaler. Gamza in the pool for Penn Hills.
Sarah Vitale looking very strong as she kind of cuts through the water almost. Cutting her first at 29.96. That's a very good start for her 100. Sarah Vitale, I've seen previously on my time with the team as one of the swimmers for the 500. So yeah, her coming in at her final time, very, very strong swim, very capable from her work in the 500.
They're going for a Whippeal time. They got to pick it up here as it is 3:59 on the dot.
Was that 3:59? Oh, I might have misread that earlier. Sorry, I apologize for that.
Penn Hills entering the water for their third leg. That'll be Lauren Sipple. And here comes Miller for her final stretch, and Malachi will enter the water. So you have both Malachis. You have one starting and one anchoring.
Very, very strong start for Ava Malachi. Sorry, I've known her sister Grace throughout my time in swimming, so I apologize if I get the two mixed up. That's on my bad. But Ava coming out very, very strong again, going into her last leg of the 100, last leg of the event as well. 30 seconds to get that 3:59. Can she do it? Now nearly 50 seconds left in the race.
She's going to have about 9 seconds now to get down the
Very,
water.
very close call.
Probably not going to get it, but it's going to be close.
Very close to a personal best. If I'm reading this correct, it's a 4:17.91. So
it's going to be a huge personal best, almost by 13 seconds.
4:05 it would seem.
Which 13 seconds, that's like a whole nother, it's like a 425 meter basically.
Very, very good race for the Lady Titans.
But now we have Cassidy Berkovich in the water, finishing up for the Penn Hills. Coming down to our final 25. And here she comes to finish things up. Cassidy Berkovich is able to give her
the final time of 4:56.67. Very, very good job from both teams.
In lane 3 for Shaler, Braden Bork, William Ray, Mikey Valdez.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, the final event of the evening, the 400 freestyle relay, boys 300 freestyle relay.
In lane 5 for Shaler, Tommy Pogorski.
We're gonna have two Shaler teams here.
And Noah Lane.
Starting off the event for lane 3 would be Braden Bork. Very excited to see where he can get out with this event.
The Titans team in lane 3 already have a qualifying time for Whitfields, but they're trying to improve it possibly with this race. The time to get is 3:35.50. They already have a time of 3:28.85.
That's very impressive because remembering back to when I was swimming here, I would also be put in the 400 freestyle relay, and we would be trying for a long time while I was here to try and get that Whitfield time. I don't think we ever really quite got there. We got close on a couple of occasions, but to see the guys, they had the cut. You said it just to check in again.
Yeah, the first team for Shaler in lane 3 and Penn Hills both have the time. The Penn Hills Indians have an impressive 3:18 on the board.
Wow! In all my years of swimming for the Shaler Titans, I have never seen that before. Very, very
Yeah,
impressive.
that's even pretty close to Titans' pool record is 3:15.04. So that is very impressive that they are only 3 seconds off of a school record. Well, not for Penn Hills, but for Titans.
Well, like I said, the closest we ever got was like 3:39 when like the cut originally was like 3:34, 35, or even 33. So very, very impressive effort from both of these teams.
Right now in the water for Shaler in lane 3 is William Ray. For Penn Hills, we have Anthony Collins, and for Shaler in lane 5, is Ryan Lang. It's nice to see in Shaler in lane 5, you have both of the Lang brothers being able to race together.
Another event where the two can kind of share some brotherly bonding while racing. A nice little sibling rivalry, so to speak.
Mikey Valdez will now enter the water for Titans in lane 3. And now in the water is Kieran Roberts in lane 5 for Titans. Now about to enter the water for Penn Hills will be Clark Leonard. And there he goes.
Now last but certainly not least for the Shaler Titans in lane 3, Will Nebbiolo, as he gears up to dive into the water for the final stretch of the 400 freestyle relay, returning after a stellar 500-yard freestyle and kicking it off already as he sprints to the other end and like at the speed of light. Oh my goodness.
And now for the Titans in lane 5, Noah Lang's looking to finish this thing off. Nebbiolo still sprinting through his first 50.
Continuing to demonstrate the amazing power that he has.
But Lang is also doing the same in lane 5.
Yeah, both swimmers are very, very, very impressive in their abilities.
But here comes Nebbiolo down the final stretch. Titans weren't looking for a qualifying time, but still an impressive one nonetheless at 4:06. Penn Hills already finished with a final time of 3:45.35.
Yeah, and the Titans with a 4:06.47, still a very good time from what they usually have.
But here comes Lang to finish things off for the team in lane 5. And that'll give them a final time of 4:23.56.
With the conclusion of this event, we have reached the end of every event there is in the meet. So,
just to do a quick little recap here of the people that qualified for Whippeals, we saw in the boys 200-yard individual medley, we have Noah Lang, who got a time of 1:58.85, which is very impressive for Shaler, as he also qualified for another event too. But then for the girls, in the girls 100-yard breaststroke, we have Grace Malachi, who already had a qualifying time, but she got another time of 1:12.86, which is still very impressive. And then last person that qualified will be Will Nebbiolo in the boys 500-yard freestyle, which I think is personally the most impressive.
Still, congratulations again to Will, and congratulations to everybody on the team.
At the time of 5:09.20, crazy. But the Penn Hills Indians will send Shaler off for Senior Night 2024. For Mark Povich, alongside Jake Picasso, that's all we have here for you tonight. Thank you for watching, and this has been an SATV production.